Hello you beautiful people, how are you all? Hope you're all good. Thank you for joining me for yet another episode of the Great Wall Hobby SU-27UB. So as always, we're straight at it. I found a new glue, everyone. It's the Loctite super glue, but it's a gel and I am so impressed with it. I can't tell you, it's really good. It's definitely more controllable. And it done our stick well. It's good stuff, so it gets a thumbs up from me. It's Loctite super glue gel. It's good, as you can see. It doesn't run anywhere. It's very controllable and does the job beautiful. So we're getting the afterburner cans, or the burner cans put on. They've all been painted, a little bit more blue in them, thanks to the advice from you lovely lot. So we'll get that attached. Nothing too exciting there. Nice close up, not in focus. Well done. These are great because they've got a notch in the top, which goes into a slot at the in the top of the hole where it goes into, so you can't get it wrong. And it just slides into place like so. A nice snug fit, which we've grown accustomed to with this kit. So happy with that. Bit of a close up for the detail. As you can see, that super glue, it did bite in really quickly. Done the job nicely. So whilst we're looking at this, just like to say thank you very much as always for tuning in. I think we're on episode 10 now, so you've all done very well to keep going with me through all these episodes. I hope it's been worth it for you all. This episode's going to basically deal with these parts. We're going to deal with undercarriage. Oh, right on cue, there we go. We're dealing with the undercarriage. We'll deal with the leading slats and the flaps, and add a little bit as we start to really sort of draw this kit together now and get it into the real final stages. I don't know how I've managed to drag this out for 10 episodes, but the parts keep coming. So yeah, do bear with me. The F4 is probably 2 or 3 episodes away. I've been doing my best to keep regular with this, but as I say, the day job has been getting in the way. So the undercarriage is a superb sort of design and fitment. It clicks together. I really don't have any complaints about any parts of those at all. So this is the nose gear, and as you can see, everything just clips over and together and pretty much holds itself in place. Superbly detailed. Excuse me if you heard my belly rumbling there. Yeah, superbly detailed, and all the bits sort of almost pretty much clip together. Just need a little bit of Tamiya extra thin, and all goes together nicely. My only slight complaint is possibly they overcomplicated the build process. Maybe they could have sort of moulded some of these bits together in one piece. Some kit manufacturers tend to want to give us more entertainment than maybe is necessary. But I'm happy with that. All goes together well. A nice snug fit going on there. So next up is the hydraulic steering mechanism. And again, a nice snug fit, no fit issues there. The instructions were plain and simple to see with it. There you go, just like that, nice and easy. Just level it up, there we are. Now this bit, I've included this sort of bit in the video, is I didn't, well, I used a Tamiya extra thin cement with this because you have to get that right hand bit of I don't know, the main undercarriage bit, the arm I guess. This is where the main gear, or well the nose wheel goes, and that bit that I'm just pressing down with my finger there needs to be perfectly in position and then left to dry, so that those main arms that you can see here fit into place at a later stage. So this is something to be wary of, or not even wary of, just get it done, is make sure that that dries in position like so, and then leave it to set, and then later on you can come back to it and glue those bits on. The reason why I kept them separate is because the main gear is a pale blue, and that part that was attaching to it where the wheels go to it is a metal colour. So now it's down to the main gears. And all the little intricate parts that go with that. As you can see, there's quite a few, and like I say, I don't know if I'm being picky, I don't mean to be, but are they all necessary? I wasn't really sure if they were, to be honest. I think maybe because this kit's sort of coming towards an end, maybe I felt that it was a bit drawn out unnecessarily, when maybe it isn't, and I'm just sort of maybe getting keen to get a move on and get this finished. Speed up the action a bit, just not to drag it out. But I wanted to include this just to give you an idea of the exact detail that goes into the landing gears of this aircraft. I mean, I can't complain. They've given us our money's worth with this kit. I think, like I say, I'm just keen to get this done and over the line now. And there we go, all in place. A little bit of a quick reference, make sure that it mirrors the other side. Don't want to fall foul of that. I was quite impressed with this. This clipped together really well, this did. Like so. This literally clipped over into the recessed part there. It's almost Tamiya-like. This really went together well. It was almost a shame to sort of hide, well, not even hide it away, but glue it together. And then the other part clips in just like so, and then it marries up in the middle, which you'll see in just a moment. Whilst I'm doing this, I'd just like to again thank you all for joining in. My subscriptions continue to go up each week, which I'm truly humbled by, and I'm also very humbled by your lovely kind comments about my work and the channel. I really appreciate it. I do agree with you all. I hope that this gets more subscriptions and it turns into something a bit bigger. It does seem to be going a bit slowly at the moment, but it's a new channel. I can't expect things to happen overnight, but I'm very happy with where I'm at so far. And like I say, it's not necessarily all about the numbers for me. It's more about helping others and inspiring others to pick up the plastic and have a bit of fun. So there we go, as I was chatting away there, that's all put together. And I've let them dry. It doesn't take long with the extra thin cement, as I'm sure you're all aware. Using Mr. Hobby 117 light blue. And again, with my trusty Mr. Hobby levelling thinners. There we go. Great stuff, this. Again, not 50-50, but probably 70-30 in favour of thinner to paint. Low PSI, probably 12 PSI, something like that, with the Iwata Neo airbrush. And it's just a case of giving it a light covering and working into the areas and just making sure all the areas are covered. Now, as I was painting this, I kind of noticed that there was like a mould line through the main gear parts, which to me just has to go, and I was a bit cross with myself. I didn't notice it beforehand, but I noticed it in the end after painting this, so I let it dry, and then I carefully used a scalpel blade to remove that seam line, because I think that makes sort of the difference between a model and more of a real life replica, if you know what I mean. It takes it away from being just a plastic toy kit maybe, to trying to get the realism a little bit better. I see sort of some of my older previous kits that still had the seam line on the landing gear and parts, and you think, ooh, that's just, yeah. I'm not saying it's amateur, and I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is it could be better and look more lifelike. So I got rid of those seam lines just to give it a more realistic look. I think they might still be in this. I don't think I had scraped them away at this point. In fact, it might have been while I was filming this that I noticed. Yeah, you can see it just there where my fingers are. I get rid of all that, and I'm a bit happier, or much happier with it. So now it's a case of attaching the gears. As you can see, it's clearly sided. Got a not a full circle there, so you can tell which side is which. It's just a case of popping my trusty super glue in there, or whatever glue you need, or depending on how much of a rush you're in, and this just literally clips into place like so. Nice and easy. Happy with that. One of the more satisfying parts of the build, that. Just letting it clip into place. And it's very sturdy as well. I will give them that, Great Wall Hobby. They've made it a good strong setup there. So it's down forwards to the nose gear. And again, nice and easy. A 3-pin sort of locking situation there. It just plonks into place, and it's ready. It's ready almost instantly. Nothing overcomplicated with this. I will show you the landing gear at some point. I don't know what's gone on with my edit. There it is. I was putting the glue bits on. There we go. As you can see, just using 2 hands, getting straight to it, no messing about, popping it in place, and allowing that super glue to do its thing. So there we have it, a nicely detailed nose gear. So coming up soon will be the first moment that she stands on her own 2 feet for the first time. Here we go. Ta-da! She stands on her own legs. There we go. Good momentous part, this. At least I know the nose weight's fine. Would have been a bit late if it wasn't. But there you go, she stands. So next up, it's going into detail with the main gear, the wheels and the bits and pieces like that. Bit of photo etch there, which comes with the kit actually, which was really good. There's quite a bit of photo etch in this kit, which I thought was marvellous. A lot of companies seem to be trying to expand into that side of things. I think maybe, I don't know if they're trying to keep up with Edward or whatever, but yeah, a little bit of super glue, just dollop that on, and using the tweezers, we plop this in place. Well, we tried to plop it in place anyway, but Butterfingers here makes a little bit of a meal of it. But there we go. Happy days all round. So next up, I thought I'd use a bit of trickery. I hope it amuses you. Next up come all the parts of actually getting the hubs together with the wheels. I'm fully aware that those silver parts need spraying green. I still haven't even done it yet, to be honest with you. It'll probably be one of the last jobs I do. But there we go, that's all the parts coming together for all the wheels. The main black has been painted using Tamiya rubber black. I forget what this green is, I do apologise, but it's a Tamiya green. But it goes very well with how they are on the actual aircraft. Some of them are a lighter green, and I think I've seen some of them as a light blue as well. But with this particular one, it was this colour, so I went with it. And they click into place. As you can see, it's a grooved assembly, and there we go. That literally just drops into place like so. And I've got to say, it's really well detailed. You can see all the tyre details there, etc. Very, very well done by Great Wall Hobby. Very happy with that. So now it's time to attach the main gear tyre, well, the nose wheel tyre. Excuse my slightly shaky hands. Stabilise that, there we go. And now we're just attaching the aforementioned arms that the tyre goes into. So you can see here clearly why I had to glue that in situ and make sure it dried in place, because it's pretty critical that you do that to get these on. Then this just plops into place like so, and as you can see, it has an indented part on the tyre there, and that's where it should stand on the floor, and that gives it the look of the aircraft having some weight. Again, a nice touch from Great Wall Hobby. Make a bit of a meal of this, but eventually it goes into place. And yeah, there we go. We're starting to get somewhere here, everybody, at long last. quite impressed with that. I'm very happy with that. It looks really nice. The level of detail that's in just a nose gear here is exceptional. So yeah, very happy. Let me know what you think, guys, because as always, I love chatting to you. You are the life source of this channel, so yeah, let me know what you think, good or bad. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, hit the like and subscribe button, please, people. It really helps. It helps the algorithms and all that yip yap with promoting the channel, and I appreciate it. Now we're back to the main gear, and then the eagle-eyed of you will notice that I've done those scissor parts. I've painted those in metallic colour because after a little bit of research and checking out, I noticed that those were in the correct. That was the correct colour for it. Well, that's what they are. And now it's just a case of popping the main gear on, making sure we've got that flat bit in position. And that just clips in. Oh, I say it clips into place, but no, I throw it all over the aircraft. But yeah, that does eventually clip into place. I think I found this one was a bit snug. Like the moulding might have been a bit thicker than it should have been, or more likely I hadn't checked. There might have been a little bit of plastic where it ought not to be. But anyhow, happy with that. Eventually it goes into place. So she sits on her feet now. She's not just on legs, she's on feet. Very happy with those. She's looking good now. She's really starting to take shape. And I thought I'd go again a bit off-piste and take the camera off the tripod, and we can have a look at how she sits. And she sits well. Looks a bit dangly or gangly without the gear doors, but they will come in this episode. But she stands, she's alive. So next up is the pretty damn fiddly front wheel. I think it's to stop debris flicking up behind. So it's almost like a gravel guard, like the Boeing 737-200s that fly around in Alaska, etc. have. So she's got one of these. This comes as a 3-part piece. I didn't show me building that bit together because I thought you've seen enough really of the undercarriage, etc. So and that I just made sure was in correct position before I let the glue dry. And again, as you've just seen, it's just a case of clip that in situ. But that really brings it together well. I really quite like that. That looks smart. Again, all this undercarriage needs weathering. That will come in a later episode, because some of you may have seen with the main gear, the actual rear gear parts, you can see the join between where the main gear attaches to the airframe. I've left that there because it's all going to get, there we go, you can see it's all going to get weathered, and it won't stand out. So what I've done here, maybe a little useful trick for you all. You can thank me later. Checks in the post, please. This one is, I use a bit of blue tack just to get the position right for the gear door, and then I can just leave it. I don't have to stand there holding it in position. If you've got wobbly fingers like I sometimes tend to have, and you can't get it in place, I just pop a bit of blue tack next to it and it gets in the exact position. Does the job well. So we go, that's all that's a couple of the gear doors in place, and it's I've sprayed the inside red. Again, that was a Tamiya red. In hindsight, I could have maybe done a base of white on that just to lift the deepness of the red, but then again, I have seen different aircraft, and some of them it's a darker red than others. It's one of those odd ones where which ones you want to follow, so I'm just going to stick with this one. But in hindsight, I probably should have used a bit of blue tack to stop this door falling off, but in hindsight, no, I go back to it. Go back to what I was saying, I probably could have done with a white base just to lift the tone of the red, maybe. But I'm not going to complain, and if anyone wants to pick me up on it, good on you. So we go, blue tack like it should have been. And as you can see there, where I sprayed it, there's some grey parts where my fingers are now, where it was still on the sprue. I go along with a paintbrush and just fill those bits in a bit of a later stage, just so that disappears. So we go, that's all the main gear bay doors on. Oh, and I showed it, there we go, paintbrush, red, there we go, meet each other. There we go, makes it disappear. And I put a bit of self-leveling thinner in the mix for the paint, so it actually all levels up nicely. You can't tell later on that it has been manually brushed rather than sprayed. And as you can see there, I wasn't using so much of the brush tip, but actually the body of it, because it's quite firm and it actually then distributes the paint a little better. Doesn't give it that sort of splodged on look that you sometimes get. Now, there you go, red X7 to be precise. That, of course, was by Tamir. Okay, now we're on to the landing lights. I use PVA glue for attaching these because it doesn't fog up. I think we've touched on that before with doing the canopy glass and things like that. Use PVA glue, guys. Don't use super glue for that because it will fog it and ruin it. So this was just a metallic silver background. I appreciate it could have been more of a mirror finish, but like I say, I didn't have that paint, and to be honest with you, I couldn't be asked. Oh no, I don't mind admitting it, I couldn't be asked with it. I just wanted to get these bits on there, and I'm happy enough at this scale with those looking like that. Do they look like lights? Yes, they do. So there we go, nicely in place. Let that dry. PVA glue takes a little bit longer to dry than normal. Leave it a good 24 hours. But once it's done, it does clear, dry clear. So here we go. You can see the red door is on. Place that in situ with its lever, and then there's the shroud for the main landing gear, the oleo or the hydraulic part of that. Again with a decal put on that, and she's all good. Touch of glue going in there. So progress is finally getting made, as you can see. She is starting to come together nicely now. I've only 3 minutes left of the video. A bit of self-plugging. Thank you ever so much, guys, again for getting this far in the video, for all your support and everything that you do for me. I hope I give back as much as you guys give to me. I hope you enjoy this. If you know some people that may be interested in this and haven't subscribed, do me a favour, let them know. Let's get this channel on the map. It would help me out greatly, and I'd really appreciate it. So there we go, nose gear area all done there. Again, that's going to need a little bit more, it's got a little bit of a wash in the side there, but I think I may well weather that up a little bit more just to bring out some more of the details. But obviously, like I say, the main landing gear will get done. So these are the engine intake pylons. The display aircraft has these. It is all pyloned up, it just doesn't have the weaponry. So it was a case of drilling out these holes, 1.5mm drill bits, and getting them into position. The holes were a little bit big, but it was what was recommended, and it all popped into place eventually anyhow. And there you go, another bit of little bit of editing just to show those going into place. Now this is a cool part. I was really pleased to be able to include this in the video. The slats and the flaps going in, it starts to bring the wings together, and just, yeah, we're starting to turn the corner now, everybody, getting these in place. Got them in the down position for when it's parked, and it was just a case of getting a little bit of masking tape, taking the tack off that so it didn't take any of the decal away, decals, decal, however you want to say this. I've been pulled up on this on some comments. I don't care, they're decals, alright? You lot can pronounce them how you like, but they're decals to me, alrighty? And then it's a bit of Tamir extra thin cement just to get it in place. Thought I'd speed that process up for you because I don't want to upset you all at this late stage of the video. So there we go, looking good. And then it was just the rear flat. I thought I'd show you this one. I've done the other side already. A little bit of super glue was in place with that, and just beautifully slotted in place, this did. The fit was so good. There we go, looking good. So, how long do I have left on this video? I have 35 seconds. Wow, guys, it's gone so quick for me. I hope it has for you also. See, this is how she stands now. Let me know your thoughts on this. Critique is always welcome. I thank you ever so much for lasting this long. Next week's video, I don't know when it's going to be out, guys. I'm trying so hard to get these out on the weekly, but life is just getting in the way at the moment. So I'm trying my best. I do apologise for dragging this out. Thanks for watching. Next week's video is going to have cockpit glass and bits and pieces going in, hopefully tailplanes and maybe a bit of weathering. If not, have a great week, speak soon, happy modelling and bye.